Hi, I'm Daniel Rosten, CEO of iCarePro.net, and welcome to the Review of Optometric Business Online Digital Strategy Series. I'll be your host for this exciting series. There's so much to talk about: the web, Google, Facebook, search engine optimization, etc., that it can become a little overwhelming at times and hard to really figure out what's practical and applicable to an optometric practice. That's why the goal of this series is very simple. We'd like to share articles and videos with you that clearly explain what's happening online on the web, Google, Facebook. Our goal is to help your practice create and implement an effective online digital strategy that can make your practice grow and succeed. So there's no time like the present. Shall we get started? The topic of how to use the web for your practice, creating an online plan, embracing internet technology, they've all been written about so often that many people have a hard time taking the topic seriously anymore. Well, let's recapture your interest in the topic and get you thinking about it, because after all, no matter how often it's been talked about, it is still critical that your practice have an online strategy. When it comes down to it, an essential goal of any strategy is to bring new patients into the practice. That's pretty much a given. Now, in order to see what's working and what's not, you need to find a way to measure your strategy. The standard approach to measuring what works is to ask the age-old question: how did you find out about us? As you all know, the answer to this question typically reveals that a friend told me, or I saw your sign, or I saw your website, and so on. In most practices, this gets correlated right back to the strategy. Yep, looks like that sign on the lawn is really paying off. We had 4 patients this month that say they saw our sign out front. Now let's look a little further at this example. A new patient says that they saw the sign out front. Okay, you note that down. How did they find out about us? Sign. All right, now, how long have you had that sign out front? What, a year now? And how many times has that patient driven by that sign? 5, 10, 50 times? So why today? And exactly what did they do after having seen the sign for the 12th time? What made them decide, I found my eye doctor? It's good questions, but right now all we know is, how did they find out about us? So if you consider the fact that the Yellow Pages used to be the mainstay of most practices' advertising budgets, when you got a new patient, of course, you ask the question, how did you find out about us? Answer, Yellow Pages. If you asked, what did you do after you saw the ad, people would kind of look at you strangely and say, I called you. And if you then asked, and how did you learn more about us, people would say, I called you. And how did you schedule your appointment? People say, I called you. See, I mean, it's clear these questions all seem rather silly. But let's look at what's happening today. How did you find out about us? Well, I saw the sign out front. I see, good. So what did you do then? How did you find out more about the practice? Oh, well, I went to Google and I didn't really remember your name, so I Googled optometrist and your site came up. So I checked you out. Excellent. And what made you decide to choose our office? Well, I mean, I looked at your site and I see I have an astigmatism, and I noticed you got a fan page on Facebook. So when I was looking through it, I saw you had a few posts on that topic, and a lot of people commented that your office was really knowledgeable in this area. Great. And how did you schedule your appointment? Oh, well, yesterday at lunch, I pulled up your site on my phone and I used your online appointment scheduler, and here I am. Now, this model of tracking your marketing efforts, as you can see, is considerably more involved than the older model. The model I've just described is called the AIDA model. This is a simple model that tracks a potential customer through a sales process. It stands for awareness, interest, decision, action. As you can see, the old model of tracking fits right into the very first point, awareness. How did you find out about us? Followed by 3 further questions. Now, tracking using the old model was relatively straightforward. So how would we track this new model today? Before I go on, you'll notice that I've kept the same slide title up for a while now. How did you find out about us? I guess crossed out. I'm really trying to emphasize that point, that this model really doesn't work anymore, or better yet, it shouldn't work anymore if your practice is truly online. I propose the following new tracking system. This system allows you to list all elements of your online strategy in the left column and indicate what element of the strategy was used for each step of the AIDA model. So example, question was, how did you find out about us? Answer, take a look. The awareness stage would be lawn sign. How did you learn more? That's the next question. We look at the interest phase. There we go. SEO, keyword optometrist. Again, interest phase went from there to reviewed website. What was your key decision factor? Decision would be astigmatism, posting fan comments. And then what did you do? There we go. Action, online scheduler. See, this system focuses much more on what elements of our strategy are achieving what goals. And that way we can not only better understand their value, but we can more easily identify what resources we need to put into each area. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Our goal for this series is to help your practice create and implement an effective online digital strategy that can make your practice grow and succeed. In short, how do you turn this into this? And remember, in order to create and implement an effective strategy, you need to understand all the technologies that are relevant to your practice, exactly what their benefits are, how to implement them, and what changes your practice may need to make in order to succeed. Now, that's our goal for this series. And this slide in particular captures the essential outcome of a successful online digital strategy. Who said we had to start at the beginning? Regardless of how far along your practice has come in its digital strategy, this slide provides you with a very practical step that your practice can implement today. Measuring your current online digital strategy, however simple or complex it may be at this time, will be invaluable in identifying your growth and success in moving forward. So please join us. We look forward to having you back for more articles and videos focused on helping your practice create and implement an online digital strategy. Thank you for watching.